Hello.
Hey, Mark, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to go back into mute, I think. I'll push *6 and go back to mute till we get closer to the meeting.
All right, sir.
Thank you. Or you know what? I'll just mute it on the phone and leave it the way it is. But
All right.
it shows that I'm on here.
Yeah, it shows you're on there, but you're not muted yet.
Okay, I'm going to mute my phone at home, and hopefully that'll show as muted.
Good evening, everyone. We will begin shortly. We are waiting for Board Member Magaña to join us. Alrighty, good evening, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order at 5:35 p.m. I would like to see who's present. Board Clerk Ramirez,
Present.
Board Member Cabrera,
Present.
Board Member Magaña.
Present.
President Uribe will not be here, and Vice President Gutierrez, I am here. At this time, we would like to adopt the agenda. Dr. Garland, are there any modifications to the agenda?
Yes, good evening, Vice President Gutierrez. We have 3 items. Item A from closed session agenda is pulled from the agenda. Item 8Q under new business is being pulled from the agenda. Item 9A2 has been revised and copies have been provided to you and copies have been uploaded to our website for the public.
Thank you, Dr. Garland. I have a question for item A. I know that that was something I wanted to discuss. Is it staff pulling this item or what's happening with this item?
I believe Dr. Scarvana, are you gonna respond to that, sir?
Item A was which one? We're talking,
From closed
The-
session, Dr. Scarvana.
closed session item was pulled by, the board president and myself during the agenda review.
Okay. And then can this be added to the agenda in the next meeting for further discussion?
Yes.
Actually, Vice President, if I may, I'd like to make an alternate motion to that. I think that given the fact that our decision today impacts the livelihood of so many constituents of ours, and that so many people are awaiting this decision, people who depend on this decision to feed their families. I like to make an alternative motion. I think that this is important enough for us to discuss. So I'd like to make an alternative motion to keep the closed session matter item A, and we defer to making a decision on whether to
Member Magana, you're cutting off. I'm not sure. Board Member Magana, can you hear me? Board Member,
Can you hear me?
no, your internet's very spotty, so I couldn't hear.
Can we have someone from cabinet give her a
Let
call?
me try to connect through.
I can give her a call really quickly, Vice President Gutierrez. Won't you let me do that?
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to do that because we couldn't hear a word she said.
I'm trying to log in through my phone. Let me see if it works. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you much better now. Do you want to repeat what you were saying?
Yes, please. If I'd like to make an alternative motion, I think that this matter is important enough for us to discuss today, given the fact that it impacts 9,000 community members who depend on our decision, and you know, so many of them get their family. People are looking and waiting. I don't think it's fair for 9,000 people that it would impact. I think that is our due diligence to test it. So that
I'm trying to hear her. I can't even hear what she's saying. I'm on the other
Vice
phone
President
line.
Gutierrez.
I'm trying to hear what she's trying to say. Let me hear and I'll call you right back.
Yes, legal counsel? I heard you say.
If we can text, if someone can text or call Board Member Magana, because we can hear her understanding.
Excuse me,
I don't know. Council's gonna have to straighten this out, but I gotta get on there and hear her. I can't hear her.
Okay, I see her on the phone. Thank you so much, legal counsel and Dr. Garland. I know
Vice President Gutierrez,
Okay.
I'm speaking with Board Member Magana right now.
Okay,
So
perfect. I know we have all dealt with technical difficulties, so thank you so much for everyone for hanging in there. Board Member Magana, can you repeat? I heard you say making alternative motion, but I didn't hear what that motion was.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Am I clear?
yes.
Vice President Gutierrez, Board Member Magana is going to try logging on with her phone for audio.
Okay, perfect.
So as my phone, because I'm having problems with my phone, hopefully you can hear me now. I think once again, like I stated, I think it's very important that we do discuss this, given the fact that it affects so many families in our community who depend on the resources of us making this decision today, including our students. And therefore, I think that it's only right, and as a person that was elected to represent the community and the well-being of our community, I think that it is of the utmost importance that we do discuss this today. So with that said, I'd like to make a motion to keep closed session matter item A, and that we defer making a decision on whether to pull item 8Q until after we've had the opportunity to discuss item A in closed session. May I have a second?
Board Member Magaña made a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Okay, there's a motion and a second. And this time I'll do a roll call. Board Clerk Ramirez.
Abstain, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. Board Member Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
President Uribe is not here, and then I'll go ahead and I myself. Okay. So that motion is carried. Okay, moving forward, legal counsel, do we have any closed session for public comment?
Thank you, Vice President Gutierrez. We do have one comment. It does not designate whether it's for closed session or open session, but because the subject matter is relating to a closed session item, I will discuss it now and as well as in the open session item. It says, estimados representantes, me gustaría contarles un poquito de cómo el swap meet de Laguna Nueva me ayuda a mantener a mi familia. Este lugar es mi única forma de ingreso y estoy en apoyo a que no le quiten de su propiedad. Por favor, tengan piedad de toda la gente que trabajamos allí para mantener a nuestras familias. Este lugar nos ha ayudado no solo con cobrarnos muy poquito, pero también con ayuda financiera a muchos que hemos necesitado ayuda para enterar a nuestras familiares durante la pandemia. Por favor, no nos quiten el único apoyo que tenemos. Mis hijos van a sus escuelas y aunque no puedo votar, y yo siempre les inculco el respeto a nuestros líderes. Por favor, no nos quiten nuestra forma de ingresos y sigan siendo los líderes en los que nosotros creemos. Atentamente, señora Hernández. And that's the only comment that appears to be relative to closed session matters.
Thank you, legal counsel. Dr. Yuan, do we have any closed session public comment?
Yes, we have one from Christine Demas. She'd like to comment on Phoenix merchandise. So let me give her a call. Let me give her a call.
Thank you.
Right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Good evening, Vice President Gutierrez, Public Education, Dr. Curvon. Please be careful with Phoenix merchandise. Although this vendor has been generous to the MUSC community, the vendor has found itself being behind on payments, monthly payments that have been agreed upon through the contract. I personally walked through the open air market, and I checked around for cleanliness of the property. And what I found out was that the bathrooms were unclean, which leads the question of who is responsible for maintaining the property. Is it the vendor or is it MUSC? And lastly, the last attorneys that worked for Board of Education had to request $25,000 from the vendor because the vendor failed to live up to a contract. When the vendor organized and promoted a weekend festival back in fall of 2018. I don't know who dropped the ball on this one, but due diligence was indeed on the MUSC side. I hope this has corrected itself because I have not seen a receivable since January 2021, and that was for November 2020. So do the math, that's 7 months of the CAR, excluding July, of course. When was the last time somebody collected the certificate of insurance? Can someone get back to me? Thank you.
All right, that concludes public comment for closed session call-ins.
And Vice President, if I may, I have received communication from President Uribe. She will be trying to log into closed session.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, legal counsel. Okay, at this time, I'd like to have a motion and a second to recess into closed session.
Second.
Was that a motion, Board Member Magana? I heard you say second, but there wasn't.
Yes, motion.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay. All right. So the motion is, let me do a roll call. Board Clerk Ramirez,
Aye.
Board Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magana,
Aye.
President Uribe is not here yet, and then I for myself, and the motion is carried, and we are gonna go recess into closed session. All right, good evening, everyone. I would like to reconvene the meeting at 7:05 p.m. I want to see who's present. Board Clerk Ramirez,
Present.
Board Member Cabrera,
Present.
Board Member Magaña,
Present.
President Uribe will not be able to join us, and then Vice President Gutierrez, I am present. Before we continue, I just want to apologize to the community for making you wait an additional 36 minutes. Our closed session ran a little longer than anticipated, but thank you so much for your patience. We will continue the meeting. Ms. Hakopian, can you lead us in the flag salute?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Please put your right hand over your heart. Please begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hakopian. Legal counsel, can you please provide a closed session report out?
Yes, thank you, Vice President Gutierrez, members of the board, members of the cabinet. We convened into closed session with the following members being present: Vice President Gutierrez, Clerk Ramirez, board members Cabrera and Magaña, President Uribe, Council Copado, Dr. Scavarna, Dr. Ewan, Dr. Garland, Mr. Ellenson, and Mr. McGuire. We discussed item number A. Briefing and update was provided to members of the board. This also relates to an open session item. No reportable final action was taken, nothing further to report. As to item B on the closed session matter, in item number 1, Special Counsel Brent Lemon was appeared, provided an update and briefing to members of the board. By a 5-0 final action was taken to approve a settlement agreement in the amount of $185,000. Upon fully executed, the copy of the agreement can be located in the district offices. As to item B2, that matter has been taken off calendar and will be deferred to a later meeting. As to, at this point, all members of executive cabinet exited the closed session discussions. As to item number C, there was a final action, a motion and a final action taken by 5-0 for the following matter regarding item C. There has been authority to issue a correspondence to Dr. Martinez relating notice of termination. The letter is to ratify previous direction to provide Dr. Martinez with a notice of termination, which was effectuated on June 15, 2021. Pursuant to the terms of the contract, 30 days prior 30 days were required to be given. As of July 15, 2021, employment of with the district is effectively terminated. As part of this notice of termination ratification to Dr. Martinez, the following monetary obligations have been approved, again by a 5-0 vote by the members of the board. Salary amount for 12 months, $285,398.40. Vacation leave accrued to 50 vacation days for the amount of $71,349.60. Reimbursement for healthcare premiums in the amount of $5,575. Retirement plan in the amount of $116,888.22. Reimbursement for educational savings account, $14,700. Upon execution of this letter, this will be processed to HR as well to LACO for payment to Dr. Martinez on the amounts related. That was the final action taken, nothing further to report. As to item D on 2 matters, members of the board were provided with a briefing and update as to both matters. No reportable final action was taken. Nothing further to report. Closed session discussions concluded at 7:05 p.m. and that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, legal counsel. We are going to go ahead and move forward with item 7, approval of the minutes. May I please have a motion to approve the minutes 1A and 1B and 1C?
Motion.
Second.
Okay,
Question. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to make sure that I know when it comes to an item that was going to be pulled, I just want to make sure that is that at a different time
yes.
or
That-
how does that work?
That's in the consent agenda. We're currently approving minutes from previous board meetings.
Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you.
No worries. All right, let's do a roll call vote. Board Clerk Ramirez,
Aye.
Board Member Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
President Uribe is absent, and an aye for me as well, and the motion is carried. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with item 9, Los Angeles County Office of Education comments. Mr. Bill McGuire, do you have any comments for us?
No comments tonight. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you so much. Next, I would like to call on Dr. Scavarna and Dr. Garland. Do you have any comments for us this evening?
Thank you very much. I'll let Dr. Garland go first, and then I'll take the tail end of the conversation.
Thank you, thank you, Dr. Scarvana, and thank you, Vice President Gutierrez. Well, I'm excited and I'd like to take this opportunity to inform our community about our 2021-2022 academic school year. Our district is excited to welcome back our staff, students, and families to full-day in-person instruction beginning August 16th. We understand some parents may not be comfortable sending their students back to school just yet. For those students and families, we will be offering a robust independent study program. For those families who choose to have their students attend full-time in-person instruction, we will have multiple safety measures in place. These measures will include wearing a face mask in all indoor settings, following all local, state, and school safety guidelines, such as using barriers in the classroom, washing hands, using hand sanitizer, maintaining distance, and completing the online daily wellness screening. Our staff has been diligently working on installing air purifiers, hand sanitizing stations, removing carpet and replacing it with hygienic tile flooring, and acid washing for our restrooms in order to continue to prepare. For our families who choose our more robust independent study program, their students can expect weekly synchronous and asynchronous instruction and daily interactions for the grade spans of 4 through 8. Please note also that the legislature has recently passed these new guidelines, and we are currently working on finalizing all of these structures for our families. We will be hosting an informational meeting very soon regarding the specifics and details of the independent study program. We need our parents' help in completing a survey that we sent out Monday and to have them choose their child's program for this upcoming school year. You can find a link to that survey on our main website and also on all of our school websites. And please complete this survey by this Friday. All of our schools will also be hosting a back to school meeting in the coming weeks and present more details for our upcoming academic school year, including safety guidelines and procedures. And this will all be communicated through your student's school. It is really critical that all of our parents and guardians update their information in PowerSchool in order to receive these informational updates from our school and the district. And one more piece of exciting news I'd like to share, we will continue to offer free meals, breakfast, lunch, and supper for all of our students through the 2021-2022 school year, regardless of income. Parents do need to complete the meal applications. More information can be found on our nutritional services website link or by calling your school. I know there's a lot of questions out there. We also will be sending out a letter to our families. And as I said earlier, we're going to be holding meetings as well. I just wanted to inform our community, and we're very, very excited to see all our students back in school.
Thank you, Dr. Garland. If you're ready, I'll chime
Thank you,
in.
Dr. Scarvana. Yes, sir.
I wanted to thank everyone, especially all of our unsung heroes, the classified folks that do everything here on every given day. That's for darn sure, much the same as our teachers, administrators. But for this wonderful start of summer school, talk about getting an awful lot done in a very short time. Couldn't have done it without the classified people. And summer school was very well attended. So it's a good start. Please, everyone needs to understand, and I guess there's no other better way to say this, but everyone knows that things change day to day with some of the variants of COVID and everything else. Please bear with us. We're really trying to chase a moving target, and as we get the information, we try to get it out to you as quick as we can. I couldn't be happier with our thoughts and our ideas on doing these accelerated learning labs, and I think with the connection that we will build with mom and dad and guardians in our community, grandma, grandpa, everybody, realizing that we're going to take an aggressive stance with trying to help kids where they lost out on anything, where they lost out on reading, doesn't matter what. We're going to have the flexibility in those accelerated centers to do that in the day-to-day operations of running a school. I was talking with David Navarre, and I congratulate him for being the president of the Teachers Association, the new president, and he said that there's some folks that certainly have issues about us taking away from the core curriculum. We're not going to take away from the core curriculum, but I actually believe that this type of instruction, considering what's gone on with the COVID breakout, in the last year plus, is going to affect everything in a very positive note. One, it's going to get parents to realize that we're a lot more service and a lot more friendly than what they may have heard from their friends or whatever else. We're going to welcome folks back here. We're going to help individually with these students. And I actually believe that the direct reflection of this will be shown in our student dashboards and everything else. We're giving our excellent teachers a chance to do even more. So I just want to thank everybody with that. Right now is incredibly busy. We have school furniture and stuff starting to show up next week, and we'll just keep going as quickly as we can, and we'll try to get better and better and better every day. There's a lot of reasons that people are a little bit bothered, I should say more a little bit, bothered with all the COVID stuff and everything else. But I think eventually we will get this down, but we are really, really, really looking forward to helping our parents, our students. Once again, thanks again to our teachers. Wonderful show at summer school. Classified, couldn't have done it without you. And we will continue to improve. These sites are getting prettier every day. So I thank you very much to the board for their support. As you open your eyes and you see what's going on at these schools, I think you'll become a believer. And I think it's an imperative to all of us, everyone who works here, everyone who's affiliated with this district. Positive attitude right now is everything. And it certainly helps with our students. A lot of them are scared to death. It helps with employees. Positive attitude. We'll do whatever we can to make it better for these kids. And I don't want them being the ones that suffer the most in this, and we're just not going to allow that to happen. So thank you, everybody. Take care, and I'll turn this back over to you, Dr. Garland, and then you can hand over to the board president.
Thank you so much, Dr. Scarvana. I just want to thank our families and our community as well for all your support, and we're here for you. Please reach out to us with any questions. Please update your information in PowerSchool so you receive all these really, really important communications from your school and from us. And have a great night. And thank you, Vice President Gutierrez, for this time.
Thank you for informing our community, Dr. Scarvana and Dr. Garland. We are going to go ahead and move forward to item number 10, public comment. Legal counsel, do we have any public comment to read?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Vice President Gutierrez. If you can give me 1 second. The first comment is regarding LMI HVAC. Hello. Thank you for your time and consideration to my concern and the importance of the timeline regarding this issue. I have been working at La Merced Intermediate for over 12 years, and our HVAC system, which is a swamp cooler, has been given band-aids to fix whatever problem arises time and time again. For the past 4 years, excluding COVID, every August through October, the air conditioning would turn off and my students and I would bake in our classroom with only one door and no windows. I would go home with headaches, feeling nauseated for weeks. My students would ask to go to the nurse, feeling the same symptoms, complaining why the air conditioning was not working again. Classroom productivity and learning was not maximized within the conditions we all were asked to work in. Yet, we pushed through hoping our voices were heard. Finally, we were all given 2 fans for our classrooms while the system was being worked on. This is a safety concern for us and our students we serve. Every school year, I would get a sore throat and my ears would hurt. Yet when I leave the school site for long periods of time, these symptoms disappear. I do not find this coincidental. Please do what is needed by using part of the $150 million federal funding stimulus money, which can be used to provide a safe environment for our students before they return. Thank you for hearing this dire need, and immediate action is required. Florami Torres. Next topic, independent studies helps. Hello, I have had 2 of my kids under independent studies. One graduated early in May 2021. This program has helped our families keep a better balance for my children who have behavioral issues. It was a very hard to manage work and my troubled child in a regular school environment. Thankfully, independent studies was available to us. There are several kids that can still benefit from this program in the future. Please don't remove it. Thank you, Sophia Cruz. Next topic is independent studies. I am submitting this comment regarding independent studies. I want to speak to the benefits of keeping independent studies teacher, Ms. Corrales, located in the City of Commerce. I think it has been beneficial for students within our community that face transportation barriers. Their ability to stay close to home makes school more accessible. They are also safe within our city facilities. Many parents are working and feel at ease knowing their children do not have to take multiple buses to arrive at school. For many students, they are enrolled in independent studies because being on campus causes anxiety, so making them return onto campus can lead to increased anxiety and school refusal. Thank you, Angela Rodriguez. Avid tutors. Statistics show our avid students well outperformed the average grades during lockdown. The reinforcement of organizational skills, critical thinking, and mentorship by avid tutors helped them get through the hardest year of their lives. My 10th graders had over 80% passing all of their classes with C's or better, while we had the worst grades as a district and state ever. We hope you will continue to support our students who will need more support than ever going back by finding a way to unfreeze the hiring of critical avid tutors. Thank you, John DeClerc. Broad Reach Power. Hello, Montebello School District. Broad Reach Power is very interested in doing an energy storage project in the Laguna Bell area and would appreciate your support and to discuss the benefits to resiliency in the area and potentially utilize an area of the Laguna Bell School to construct a project. Would you be willing to discussing this with us? Jacob Morgan, Director of Development, phone number 415-900-7635. Reopening of schools. To the esteemed members of the board, administrators, and staff, I would like to commend the hardworking staff and faculty at our schools who have been able to provide a safe and smooth summer school experience to our children. I was relieved to see that our students have the opportunity to attend school in person full-time this fall. However, it is imperative that more detailed information be provided to families, teachers, and staff in order to prepare for reopening and allow families adequate understanding before making a commitment to return. Please provide more details about the independent study opinion and clarify with further detail the safety protocols that have been discussed. Will there still be distancing in classrooms and limited class sizes? How will entrance and exit be adapted to allow for distancing, temperature, and symptom checks all of students? Will teachers have the support they need to keep classrooms cleaned and sanitized throughout the day? Is there a plan in place to contract trace for COVID cases? And in what circumstances would an in-person cohort be switched to virtual for safety? Thank you for putting student and staff safety as a top priority for the fall. I look forward to hearing more about the reopening plan and how families can help support a safe return to school. Sarah Lamb, Bella Vista parent. And we had one more item that I did read into before closed session, but it relates to an open item as well. So I will defer to you, Board Member Gutierrez. Do you want me to read that again, or is it already in the record?
Yes, I believe it's in the record already, correct?
Yes, very well.
Yes, so that way we can move forward just in case we have public comment callers. Dr. Yuan, do we have anyone on the line?
Yes, we do have 7 people who called in, so I'm going to call them down the list. First one is Christine Demas. She would like to talk about school clustering.
Hi.
Hi, okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening again, Vice President Gutierrez, Board of Education, and the Executive Cabinet. So the last time I spoke with you, I spoke about school clustering, and I just wanted to reach out and let you know that there is a school district that is using this type of format, and that's San Diego Unified School District. So it's highly organized, and it's for neighborhoods. But like I said before, it starts with the high school, and then you have your middle and elementary schools that feed into it. And also these clusters will ensure that there is a continuity for the neighborhood students in the pre-K to 12 programs. Cluster councils will promote the schools in their communities. And so I can get into further detail much later, but cluster councils don't just promote, but they will work with schools, the community, and district staff to improve the quality of their neighborhood schools. And NUSD, profoundly reaches out to the community, which I hope and continue to see that happening. And it basically starts with not just the district, but the teachers in the schools, and those teachers that have their principals as well. The cluster councils will also be a democratic representation of the school community, including teachers and administrators and support staff and students and parents and community members and leaders. So it's my hope that perhaps we can begin a conversation with not just the superintendents, but maybe assistant superintendents, so that we can get more information, so that we can maybe start 1 or 2 clusters. And this is something, like I said, it's long-term. It's not anything you can start tomorrow. So at least we'd be getting the information out. So I'll be talking about clustering, in the future. So I want everyone to have a nice evening. Thank you for your time.
All right, next we have David Navarre and just general comments about working together. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, Vice President Gutierrez, and members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Carvana, Executive Cabinet, and public. I am Dave Navarre, MTA President. I hope you all are well this evening. I am very hopeful about the direction our district is taking, especially when we all work together. We were able to work together to offer both distance and in-person summer school despite ongoing construction, painting, and the associated packing and moving of classrooms. We now look forward to working together to welcome our students back to our school sites. The start of school is less than a month away, and we have little time to prepare and make sure our schools are ready. I visited my local classroom today and accidentally got paint on my fingers. I did not realize it was freshly painted, but it's a good sign, it looks good. The floors look great. Our members and our students will return to newly painted classrooms with new flooring and all those wonderful things that Dr. Garden mentioned, for which we are very grateful. Yes, there are boxes of materials and supplies that need to be unpacked for us to be ready for our students. Teachers need additional paid days to make this happen, and MTA looks forward to working with you on this to make it happen. We all realize this pandemic is a hardship for our students in many ways, and we need to address that this coming school year. Let us work together to ensure that we protect and enhance our core program, the heart of what we do, which is classroom instruction. I'd like to thank Dr. Carvana for the open lines of communication, and it heartened me to hear him acknowledge tonight our concerns. The best way to do that is to offer our students a stable, supportive, and nurturing classroom environment with reasonable class size caps and no combination classes. Our students, now more than ever, need and deserve as much. Again, we look forward to quickly working with the district for resolutions that are friendly to students, to our families, and to our teachers. Thank you and have a great evening.
Next, we have Catherine Salais, and she'd like to talk about the reduction in graduation requirements. Go ahead, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Let me put this on here really quick. Good evening, members of the Board of Education.
Let me pause you for a second. Yeah, turn off your, hold on, turn off your volume.
I did.
Okay, all right, let me start again. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So good evening, members of the Board of Education and fellow community stakeholders. I appreciate the opportunity to speak and also for the time that we waited for this board meeting to start. Tonight, I'm asking that the district consider extending the revision of graduation requirements through the class of 2024. As an employee of the district working in a high school setting, I have seen firsthand the detrimental effect of virtual learning for many of our students. Students who once thrived on campus are struggling to keep up with the dozens of emails and assignments posted daily. The absence of social interaction left students unmotivated and isolated. As a parent, I understand the many difficulties families have endured during this time. Balancing work, a pandemic, our health, and our children's education left many of us unable to exert extra energy into the constant demands of online learning. Approaching students' unique needs by allowing them to graduate via state or reduced district requirements on a case-by-case basis will solidify the belief that our district is here to ensure that all of our students are set up for success. On an academic side, they may not have a senior year filled with the stress of carrying extra classes, playing catch up for a year and a half of work that was not beneficial to their individual abilities. Returning to campus will not be an instant fix for many of our students. It will take time for them to adjust to their new environment. Our graduating class of 2022 has only experienced 2.5 years of on-campus learning. Reduced graduation requirements for students will allow their high school experience to be filled with optimism and compassion, traits that they will hopefully carry through adulthood. Neighboring districts have adopted board resolutions that understand the needs of the students they serve. It is my request that the MUSD board embrace all options and carry out our mission of empowering students to achieve academic excellence as model citizens by empathizing with the fact that many of our students did the best they could given the circumstances. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Next, we have Marcela Valadez, and she'd like to comment on the IFT Impact Grant. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes. Hello.
Good evening, distinguished members of the board, executive cabinet, and community members. I've called in this evening to share some wonderful news with you. But first, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Marcela Valadez, and I'm the teacher on special assignment at Montebello Gardens Elementary, and a proud product of MUSC, having attended Rosewood Park School, Suva Intermediate, and Bell Gardens High School. Now for the exciting part. In March, I submitted a grant proposal to help establish a STEAM lab at our school. And thanks to the generosity of the California Teachers Association's Institute for Teaching, MGE was awarded a $20,000 IFT impact grant for our project proposal entitled Full Steam Ahead with the Tinker Collaboratory. We were awarded these funds because our project promotes student-centered learning and interdependence, encourages student responsibility and self-reliance by emphasizing strengths over deficits, and because we have a plan to draw the support of families and the larger community to support us. We will use these funds to purchase equipment and supplies, which will provide teachers and students with opportunities for immersive project-based learning experiences, which focus on developing students' language and literacy skills via science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Our teachers will integrate lessons from core curriculum to teach skills and concepts as a springboard to real-world solution-oriented learning. We will be supported by a partnership with PBL Works and curricular support from the gas companies Future Scientists and Engineers of America, the Los Angeles King's Future Goals STEM Project, and Google for Education. Once established and it's safe to utilize, we would like to invite you all to watch our students learn in this space. We also hope to gain your support for our goal to transform our school into MUSC's first elementary STEAM academy. I'd also like to take this time to thank my colleagues on the grant implementation team for their collaborative effort to get this project rolling. I'd also like to thank our principal, Mr. Jose Avila, whose confidence in our expertise has allowed us to develop as educational leaders. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the Board of Education, the Executive Cabinet, and the Montebello Teachers Association for their collaboration and support of teachers and families of the Montebello Unified School District. Thank you in advance for your support. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you soon for a first-hand glimpse of the exciting learning opportunities MGE teachers provide for our students. Good night.
Next, we have Pablo Cifuentes, and he'd like to comment on the Bell Gardens High School swimming pool. Okay, all right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
All right. Hello, school board and Dr. Cabana and Jane Navarre. Hey, congrats on you guys. I get your position. Anyway, so our pool just recently it had an issue again because of how old it is. The filter, which is obviously a critical part for a safe and an appropriate swimming pool, that stuff breaks after a while, because of how old the pool is and stuff. And we keep bringing this up, and when I talk to my principal about it, Mr. Miranda at Bell Gardens High School, he just tells me, hey, you know what, this is above me, it's a board issue, you go talk to them. So here I am, right? And again, like the parents, they're constantly like bugging me about this. Hey, maestros, Mr. Cifuentes, why are these things happening still? And I tell them, well, I'm a Bell Gardens High School alumni. I came back to coach. Like I said, my last board meeting, I was already home at a school in LMUC that I was on strike for in January 2019 for, better conditions for the students. And, I don't mind going on strike again. But anyways, I appreciate that, the pool technicians and the hard work that they do all the time. They were able to, get that part fixed, because, they're out there working hard all the time. They're passionate about it. We talk regularly about, the pool conditions, about the clarity, about the temperature, about things like that, just keeping it safe and appropriate for the kids. Like, come on. So I'm hoping, the district is taking care of them, treating them well, giving them the support that they need, the hours that they need in order to get things done in a safe manner, because, that pool, it's super critical in our community. Belgar and City of Belgar, they're planning on using it, and my students, they got certified in lifeguard, first aid CPR, AD, and water safety instructors, and they're planning to use it. And how can they use it when that pool breaks all the time, right? And I apologize, I don't remember the LMI staff members. I was talking about the HVAC, but it's a classic issue at Bell Gardens High School. It continues to be, super hot in the summers, of course. We're in SoCal. And how are kids supposed to learn? When you got that sun just blasting through those windows, and chronic absenteeism, it's a problem at Bell Gardens High School. So I don't know, HVAC might have something to do with that, right? And I think Dr. Scavarna said something about, the school getting bigger and stuff. But man, every time I have to walk through that softball field, past that softball field on my left, it's a bummer, man. Those are people's daughters. So let's give that baseball field some love, some cariño, right? I mean, it's one of our pillars. And let's help the kids out, have some pride and some joy about their softball field. Our swimming pool today, the thing looked like a swamp. But again, that's why I appreciate the pool techs. They're doing what they can. But again, like I keep saying, on behalf of the parents, it's frustrating. I graduated from that school, like I said, how am I?
All right, thank you. That's 3 minutes.
No.
Thank you.
What's up? Well, okay.
All right, next we have Leslie Vega, and the comment was on communication and details on the upcoming school year. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Leslie Vega, and I currently have 3 children in the Montebello Unified School District. First of all, I had a public comment a few months ago, and I just wanted to go ahead and make a comment that nobody reached out to me, to follow through with my concern or the comments that I made. So that's one. The second one is that with the information that you guys sent for the students to return in person, and also the other one, which is independent studies, many parents, including myself, are left wondering what exactly independent studies is going to look like for a first grader or for a kindergarten student. And I would like to know more detail and more explanation in regards to that. And also in regards to the playground, since they're gonna be there, the students that do go back in person, they're gonna be there full day, like it said. I would like to know, what the rules are gonna be for the playground. Are they gonna be able to use it or not? Are they gonna be able to take off their mask, because they're gonna be there for not 2 or 3 hours like summer school, but longer hours. And those are details, that were not mentioned in the letter that was sent out. So I would really love if somebody could get in touch with me this time around with my concerns and my questions, and give me a call or an email to answer all of those questions. And one last thing, also, I think it would be very polite from any of you guys to next time put a note, or at least give us a heads up of, hey, we're running a little bit late, we'll be in here shortly, or around, 7 p.m., just out of respect for our time as parents as well. We understand, that your time is valuable, but as MUSC parents, our time is valuable too, and I would really appreciate that. That's it. Thank you.
And our last one is Maria Quintanilla, and she'd like to comment about questions about the different choices when school resumes. Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm calling for the same information as the parent before me. I'm calling because we are given a choice to either do in-person or independent studies, but we can't make that choice. We don't feel comfortable making that choice on Friday, this Friday of this week, until we get more information. Will we be able to change our decision if, say, we do in person and we decide we don't like it because the kids are not able to take off their masks during playtime while they're during their recess or lunchtime? Are they going to be able to sit with their friends to eat their lunch? Would we be able to change our decision during the school year, or are we going to because they're saying that we have to commit when we turn in their survey. I mean, I don't feel comfortable making a decision right now, committing to a decision until we have more information regarding independent studies. How is independent studies going to work? How is in-person school going to work? I don't know if you guys could extend the date for the survey to be completed and turned in, submitted, or what's going to happen. I also would like to get an answer back with more information. I understand that you guys said that there is going to be information given out for independent studies later on in the week, but what about in person? I want to know and make sure that my kids are going to be able to socialize once at school, that they're not going to be treated and being 6 feet apart of every friend they have at school, when the whole purpose of going back to school is for them to socialize. Thank you.
All right, and that concludes public comments.
Thank you, Dr. Yuen, and thank you for everyone who submitted public comment. We are going to go ahead and move forward with the consent agenda. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent agenda for further discussion or action?
Vice President? Oh, I'm sorry. I want to make a motion to keep item AQ on the agenda, as well as approve a revision on agenda item 9A-2, as Dr. Garland reflected at the beginning of the meeting. Yes, can I get a second?
Okay.
So just for my understanding, Board Member Magaña, you would like to pull 8Q and 9A2?
No, because earlier, we stated about that we would make a decision on whether we would keep it. So I just want to make sure that I'm coming back to make the motion to keep it on the agenda. So to keep item AQ on the agenda, as well as approve the revision on the agenda made by Dr. Garland, which was item 9A-2 at the beginning of the meeting.
Perfect. Okay, I understand. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there is a first and a second. Let's go ahead and do a roll call vote. Board Member Ramirez.
Aye.
Board Member Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
President Uribe is absent, and aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Are there any other items to be pulled for discussion?
So also I would like to make a motion. I guess, I would pull it first, right? For 8Q, to pull 8Q and make a motion to approve with the oral amendment that we extend their contract to the end of February of next year.
Ms. Coppola, if you can confirm, this isn't the time to make a motion, right? It's just a poll. We shouldn't be making an amendment at the moment.
Yes, Board Member Ramirez. So, and just to be clear, right, if we're pulling the matter for discussion and based on what Board Member Magaña indicated, to be specific, the term that would be amended would be paragraph number 2. So there would be a deletion to remove that the agreement is for a term of 5 years. And instead of terminating on July 21, 2026, then the date would be, what did you say, Board Member Magaña?
The end of February?
So the date would be February 28th, 2022.
Correct. So is that what I would make a motion on? Or
Can I make an amendment, please, and have it placed on the first board meeting agenda of the month?
So we have a subsequent motion. So we have a first, Board Member Magaña first made a motion to, I believe you said approve the agreement with that amendment. We didn't get a second. We have a subsequent motion to move the matter to the next board meeting. The subsequent motion goes first. Do we have a second on?
I apologize, Ms. Copado. I'm adding on to it because I know that the motion Ms. Magaña made was to change the contract, but I'm making the motion to add this item to the first board meeting for rediscussion. Because we're gonna have to rediscuss that before it ends, correct?
I don't think I understand. I apologize, Board Member Ramirez.
Okay, so Board Member Magaña made a motion to change the date on the contract, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so we need to discuss the contract again. I'm asking for the contract to be put back on the agenda for discussion at the first board meeting of February, so that we can discuss it before the contract ends.
Oh, got it. Very well. So so you are amending, you're agreeing with Board Member Magaña's motion, but also adding that we bring back the matter the first week of February 2022 to discuss whether any amendments or revisions or a reconsideration of the agreement, correct?
Yes, whenever the first board meeting is.
Very well. Is there a second on that motion? And Board Member Magaña, do you agree with that friendly amendment?
Yes.
Second.
Okay, perfect. There is a motion and a second. Can I do a roll call vote? Board Member Ramirez?
Aye.
Board Member Cabrera?
Aye.
Board Member Magaña?
Aye.
And President Uribe is absent, and an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Okay, so if I don't hear no more items being pulled, do I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second, let's do a roll call vote. Board Member Ramirez?
Aye.
Board Member Cabrera?
Aye.
Board Member Magaña?
Aye.
President Uribe is absent, and an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. All right, now we are gonna move forward to Board of Education member board reports. I'll go ahead and start with Board Member Ramirez.
Good evening, everybody. As the new year starts to come around, middle August is going to come very soon. I look forward to seeing all our students back in the classroom. I know some families will decide to do independent studies, and some families need that. So I'm glad that we're offering that to families. Please reach out to our schools if you have any questions about Independent studies, if you have any questions about what that looks like when we go back in person, reach out to your schools. They should have the information you need. Other than that, please stay cool. Please be careful outside. It's getting hot. Drink lots of water. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Board Clerk Ramirez. Let's go on with Board Member Cabrera.
Buenas noches, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Just wanted to take the time to thank all of our staff, classified teachers, just everyone, and just making sure that we are able to provide summer school for our students and all of the thought that is going into preparing for our upcoming school year. As Board Member Ramirez said, it's coming up in the middle of August, so super exciting, but I know there's a lot of planning behind that. And just wanted to make sure, if we could make sure that there's a follow through for, I believe it was Ms. Vega, that would be amazing. So if we can make sure we do that. And then also for Mr. Cifuentes regarding the pool, if we can get information to him through, Mr. Miranda. I know that there is work being done behind that. And so I think it would be great if we could update them. Other than that, I hope everyone's doing well, stay safe, and have a good night.
Okay, next, Board Member Magaña.
Good evening, everyone. I'm also very excited about the progress that we've made to our schools. I know that when I decided to run to be on this board, I was committed to put the students first, committed to bring a positive change to this district. I think that we have been making excellent strides towards that as an entire board. And with that said, I've had the opportunity to walk some of our campuses while summer school is in attendance. And I am very happy to see our students just, I can't see their smiles because they're wearing masks, but I could see it in their little eyes. I could see the happiness to be in the classroom. They're so excited. And, that really fuels me and gives me energy to know and to keep going and to keep doing what I believe to be right. For our district and for our constituents. With that said, to my community that has been reaching out tirelessly in regard to, their spots and the swap meet, and to the public comment that was submitted, la señora Hernández, la estamos escuchando. Yo le doy mi palabra que le voy a tratar de resolver su problema. I know for all of those people that, may be affected, know that wholeheartedly, I'm not ignoring you. I hear you. I understand that your families depend on this. I understand that you're trying to feed your families. And I'm wholeheartedly committed to keep providing services that, will allow you to continue to feed your family. So know that I am fighting with all my heart, to make sure that we don't bring any turmoil to your livelihoods. On top of that, on a positive note, I know a lot of our Southeast LA leaders came together with an amazing nonprofit, One Day LA. And they are luckily, bringing an opportunity to beautify 2 of our schools. So I really want to extend my gratitude to Councilwoman Lisette Flores. This program was reached out to the Southeast LA leaders, and as being an active member, Ms. Flores pushed to put Bell Gardens High School there. So on July 24th from 9 to 3, the school will be beautified. We have hundreds of volunteers coming in, paint, we're gonna plant, we're gonna give out food, give out furniture, so our Bell Gardens community, please come out, please participate. We are working very hard to bring better resources to our school. And I also, with that said, Vice Mayor Dalia Rebollo and the City of Commerce, pushed very hard to get us, on that list as well with One Day LA. And, she was successful, and therefore Rosewood Park Elementary will also be beautified on the same day, July 24th. So I just want to extend my gratitude to them. I know Vice President Gutierrez and I have been working diligently and trying to bring this to our communities. So we hope to see you all there. With that said, please continue to take care, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your reports. As for me, I just want to congratulate MGE for your grant, for your STEM grant. I think that is amazing. So congratulations to that school. And just as a reminder to reiterate what Dr. Garland and Dr. Scavarna mentioned, we will be having an informal meeting to discuss the contract independent studies. I know that we received public comment on concerns about that. So please be on the lookout for that information so that way you can participate and get more information. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. Other than that, please have a great evening. And I would like to have a motion and a second to adjourn today's meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Hearing a motion a second, let's do a roll call vote. Board Member Ramirez,
Aye.
Board Member Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
President Uribe is absent, and I for me as well. That motion is carried. Good evening, everyone, and our next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, August 4th at 6 p.m. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.